Shui Fan.
I like you.
I don't want to go to one. A world without you.
So cool.
If there is an afterlife, please ask me. A sharp sound of instruments rang out in the emergency room. Looking at the counterattack on the rescue table, the patient had completely lost his pulse.
Yifan burst into tears. 3 years ago, when my mother died of illness.
She happened to be abroad for business negotiations when she received the news of her mother's death. It's as if the whole world has turned black. Ningxi, she is the only light in her dark world.
3 years of daring companionship led him like the simple and cute.
Kind girl.
Yifan did not dare to reveal his true feelings to Eningzai.
Fear of being rejected.
I can't even be ordinary friends.
I didn't know until today. It turns out that Eningzai also likes me. They say that once something like this exists,
even if you cover your mouth, the tears will come out of your eyes.
But he is like a piece of wood.
He was totally unaware of Eningzai's affection. Endless regret comes. Every bit of the past. Forming a series of pictures floating in Yifan's mind. It's getting cold. Remember to put on your clothes. Elder brother, aren't you going to hurt your health by staying up late? Now immediately. Go home and sleep. Bro, is my outfit pretty today?
Eningzai has liked him for so long.
Not even an answer.
Yifan trembled and walked to the rescue table.
Caressing Eningzai's little face, the affection in my eyes is like a whirlpool.
Shaoxi, I will accompany you.
Wait for me to decide. Don't bother lying next to Eningzai.
Hold the little hand has lost its temperature.
The other hand picked up the scalpel on the table. Without hesitation, he stabbed himself in the heart. Random consciousness gradually blurred.
Kapan suddenly remembered a whisper. Whispered voice. To be honest, did you go through the back door?
This should be the last life Enning. The familiarity of the west entrance.
My bestie, you really know how to chat. Eningzai couldn't bear to listen.
Raise your hand gently. Did you poke Luo Yu? You're so embarrassed to ask such a question. After saying that, he smiled apologetically at Yifan.
Luo and Mengli realized that something was not right. Awkward smile.
Just chatting.
Student Yifan. Don't mind it.
Xu Meng has this kind of personality. There is no other meaning. Nix's birth explanation. The upturned face with a hint of baby fat shows helplessness.
It's okay. It's not a sensitive topic. There was a faint smile on Yifan's lips.
The reason why I can turn to the right conversation.
Because I passed the entrance exam. When Luo and Meng turned into curious babies. Asked quickly. What kind of assessment?
Yifan smiled but said nothing. A hint of deep meaning flashed in Ningxi's eyes. Before, he had never heard that Zhenhua accepted transfer students. Yifan was the first person he had ever seen who had transferred to a new school.
Students who enter Zhenhua, hearing the word entrance exam.
It reminded him of many things. Maybe Zhenhua is not against accepting transfer students. Maybe this so-called entrance exam.
Too difficult. No one passed.
Out of curiosity,
Eningzai asked tentatively. Student Yifan.
Can you tell me what the exam is about? Sure.
For Ningxi, there is no word reject in Yifan's dictionary. Whether in the last life or this life. Looking at Yifan, who readily agreed, Luo Yuming looked confused.
Who I am? Where am I? The gap between. Does it have to be so obvious? For Luo and Meng, the same vision.
Yifan turned a blind eye.
He calmly. Take out 4 test papers from the school bag. Put it on the table.
Smile at Ningxi.
Deep and sunny smile. The exam content is very simple. These are the 4 papers.
Eningzai was stunned.
After about 2 seconds, panicked, I looked at the test paper. The next second, the girl opened her mouth slightly. Very cute for a score.
Full marks, or full marks. It's the ancestor of the tree shade family. It's all trouble. This is too amazing.
Yifan stretched out his right hand,
flickering in front of the practice scene. What is Shaoxi thinking?
Zhenhua does not reject transfer students. Just enter. The exam score must be 730 points or above. Hearing this,
Luo Yumi, who was standing by, took a deep breath. It was like seeing a ghost.
I didn't care about Yifan's address to Eningsai, but Eningsai himself noticed.
A faint blush appeared on Bai Zai's cheeks.
Creep. Creep, creep. Oh my god.
You actually called me Xiaoxi. We were so intimate when we first met.
Things I found. Politely didn't expect.
Yifan is still a top student.
It seems that there will be problems in the future. No need to bother the teacher anymore. I am honored.
I noticed the unnaturalness in my inner state.
The smile on Yifan's lips was getting stronger. Just whenever you need it. I have a lot of time. What I owe you is the most important thing. Of course, he didn't say the second half of the sentence. Strictly speaking, this is the first time Eningsai has seen him.
Too much is as bad as too little. Look at Yifan. Look at Ningxi again. Luo Yuming seemed to smell an inexplicable sour smell.
Too corny. I got goosebumps all over the floor. Not loud.
Yifan and Eningsai heard it clearly. Eningsai glanced at Luo Yuming.
Say it again. Just kidding. Don't take it seriously. Don't take it seriously. Don't do it again, although the tone is light.
But with a hint of unacceptable. Miss Lin is late. Luo Yuming curled his lips.
Meeting Eningsai, a serious deskmate. He was tortured and had no temper.
It's so nauseating to hear these two words.
Yifan showed a barely perceptible bitter smile.
He's been trying hard to control himself. He understands that you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry.
So his plan is just 3 words. Take it slow. Anyway, he depends on this little thing in his life.
Twist and turn to do.
Put away your English books. I took out the physics test paper again.
I must solve the last physics question today. If you can't overcome
that,
then continue tomorrow.
Why did you pull out the director's role again?
Luo and Meng are quite depressed about the current situation.
Since yesterday afternoon, Eningsai has been studying the physics test paper.
He really couldn't figure it out.
Is the test paper more beautiful than the handsome guy? In his opinion, there is no possibility between the two.
There is still more than a week before the monthly exam. My last unreasonable result was not ideal.
Need to make up for it.
Facing Luo Yuming's questions, Eningsai gave an explanation. Physics is his weak point.
That's why. When the semester started,
he volunteered to participate in the selection of class representatives. Finally got what he wanted.
Became the physics representative of the class. He wants to put pressure on himself in this way. The next class is physics.
He hasn't found it yet.
The solution to the last big question. Physics teacher temperature bureau said, the next lesson will focus on.
Solve the last big question on the test paper.
As a class representative,
you will most likely be called on for questioning.
Think of this.
Eningsai was upset. It would be bad if I was called on to ask a question.
I hope it was the day before. Seeing Eningsai frowning.
Were you men comforted? Don't worry about the last physics war. No one does it right this whole age. Stop pushing yourself. This matter. Ningxi said it more than once in front of him.
I know Eningsai felt powerless.
Hearing this conversation, Yifan, who is sitting behind the two of them,
he raised his hand and patted Eningsai gently.
Can Xiaoxi show me what the question is? You are quite familiar with me. Then there are Luo and Meng's nerves. I also noticed Yifan's name for Ningxi.
The skill of 1 lesson of Daoka. This is called so smooth.
Be honest.
Are you interested in my creep? Here, he looked at Yifan and continued to wait. Don't be embarrassed to admit it.
My little Qi is so beautiful. I don't know how many boys like Xiao Qi.
Not many more than you. You are missing a lot. But I personally prefer yours. After all, the one who is close to the water gets the moon first.
Luo Yuming hasn't finished talking yet. I felt the sound on the first floor behind me suddenly stop.
Yanzai nodded slightly at Yifan.
Student Yifan, you just teach me how to communicate.
Yifan's eyes are smiling. Didn't say anything. He knows Eningsai too well.
Don't look at this girl. She looks a little light.
but in fact, he is just a cute little fool. At this time, a bored old man in his 50s walked into the classroom. This person is Chi Wenji, the physics teacher of class 2. As Chi Wenji walked into the classroom, the class suddenly fell silent. Ming Shi glanced at Luo Yuming. Luo Yuming shrank her neck instantly. A good girl's appearance. Yi Fan, who was sitting in the back, had a full view of the scene. In his opinion, Enning Zai's eyes just now, not only does it not have any lethality, also looks particularly silly. Chi Wenji put down the textbook on the podium. I picked up the thermos and drank some tea. During tea time, his eyes swept across the classroom. When it fell on Yi Fan, pause for a moment. I heard there's a transfer student in class 2. It seems to be this kid. While being surprised, he also had some curiosity in his heart. The word transfer student in Zhenhua. For him in Zhenhua. For a teacher who has taught for more than 10 years. Too fresh. New students introduce themselves. All in a moment. The student's attention was focused on Yi Fan. Being watched by so many people, Yi Fan felt nothing. Get up slowly. There is no trace of anxiety on the angular face. Teacher, my name is Yi Fan. Yi Fan's leaf. Yi Fan's fan. Afternoon sunlight through the window. The splash on his body makes him look even more handsome. This scene made many girls look down upon him. This new boy is so handsome. Looks good. Many girls quickly suppressed their thoughts. The little face is so hot. Enning Zai lies on the table. The bangs cover the delicate little face. His attention was focused on the test paper in front of him. 4-point pen in right hand. Quick calculations on scratch paper. Noticing Ningxi's actions. Yi Fan's eyes were full of smiles. Really working hard. Chi Wenji asked Yi Fan to sit down. The old and powerful voice said, "My name is Chi Wenji. I am the physics teacher of class 2. You can call me teacher too. Start class now. Take out the physics test paper from last month's exam." This class talks about this paper. A soft and crisp sound rang out in the classroom. All students have a physics test paper in front of them. Except Yi Fan. Zai Wenjun also discovered this. Looking at Enning Xie, who was sitting in front of Yi Fan. Enning Xie Fan has no test paper. Lend the test paper to him and Luo Yuming first. Ah, stand up. There was a hint of confusion on the smiling face. His attention was on the test paper just now. I didn't hear what Chi Wenji said at all. Teacher, what did you say? A low laugh sounded in the classroom. Enning Zai's expression did not change at all. Don't care about other people's eyes. After hearing it carefully, I was surprised to see the details. Patiently say goodbye to those who don't have test papers. Lend him the test paper first. Let's take a look at it together with your deskmate first. Also, you can't be distracted in class, you know. Yeah, teacher, I know. Life is really guarding lightly. Without even turning back, he placed the test paper on Yi Fan's desk. Then he pulled the test paper in front of Luo Yuming to the middle. I continued to calculate on the paper with a desk pen. It seems as if nothing happened. In fact, he is just a tool. Yi Fan behind took his life. I kept looking at the test papers of the department. He's not looking at the question, but looking at the words. Beautiful handwriting on the test paper. Let his eyes be filled with smiles, as beautiful as she is. Okay, let's start the class. As Chi Wenji began to explain the test paper, the reluctance on all the students' faces disappeared, turned to serious color. Wenju asked questions from time to time during the break. Your students are called. They all look like they are facing a great enemy. Unconsciously, the class is almost over. On the podium, after writing the last big question on the blackboard, Chi Wenji picked up the thermos cup and drank a sip of tea. Asked the last big question. Who can come out and explain it? No one answered. Chi Wenjun is a little disappointed. The thermos cup in my right hand was placed heavily on the table. I gave you more than 2 weeks. Still no one will understand. The classroom is terribly quiet. Ningxi, come up and explain it to me. Whatever you fear will come true. Inhale and stand up. There was a rare change in his mind. My eyes are fixed on the physics diagram on the blackboard. I felt helpless. He won't answer this question. At this time, the whole class, everyone's attention was focused on Enning Zai. Enning Zai blinked. Although I was panicking, but it didn't show any. Teacher, I can't. Wouldn't it be possible to be so confident these days? If they... Don't dare to say that, because I will be scolded to death by the temperature. The corner of the temperature twitched. Just as I was about to say something, the voice interrupted the teacher. I want to give it a try. Just then,
Yu Fanzhen slowly stood up. A faint smile on the corner of his mouth.